Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I'm doing a double sketchbook tour. The first sketchbook I filled, I used this Art Blocks, which is such a bizarre pen that like has Lego bits that stick to other pieces so they don't fall apart. This is their drawing pen. They also have calligraphy. This is their dark green. I used a Faber-Castell Polychromos. This is the Warm Gray 5, number 274. And this is the Caran d'Ache Luminance. This is 180. This is the Malachite Green. And then for paper of the sketchbook, this is Dreadnought Gray. It's the Canford paper, Canford Imperial. I don't know if they still make this. So back in 2019, I bought 2 huge sheets of paper and sort of folded them a little bit and used them as a backdrop for taking pictures of my wheel-thrown pottery. I know there's so many cars. I apologize for the background noise. Sorry about that. I love my neighbors. But because of like clutter blindness, I had rolled these 2 pieces of paper up and left them for years and I just didn't see them. And in this 2025's effort of using every last page of paper I own, I bound it. I did a saddle stitch from Sea Lemon with embroidery floss and added a couple beads just for weight. Yeah, so this is, I call this one Freaky Fruit. And what I did, my eldest is really into anime art, and anime really isn't my style, but I thought for just a tiny sketchbook, it would be hilarious to incorporate an anime illustration element. So I added eyeballs, like anthropomorphizing different fruits. And so for this sort of, I know, it's so silly. The way this sketchbook is designed, I picked fruit that you would find in a fruit salad. I didn't do untraditional fruits, like fruits people think of as vegetables, like squash or pumpkins or, you know, like cucumber. Things that have seeds are fruit, but this is just fruit salad fruit. So that's sort of me making sure this has a nice flow, and I added the background leaves. I don't even know if you can see that middle range gray. Blueberry, and I created jam jars. I just was getting really weird with it. Plantain, because we really like plantains in our house, more so than bananas. Again, it's just unusual. Apples with anime eyes. Apricot. And then the hand lettering is done with ink. And I say hand lettering like faux calligraphy because I am not good at calligraphy, but I can fake it. So I can draw the outline and kind of color it in, and that's how I do my calligraphy. Pineapple. I know the pineapple looks like it's up to no good. Like it's a secret international spy or something. Watermelon. Again, fruit salad fruits. Grapes. And you can really see the saddle stitch in here for the exact middle of this sketchbook. Orange. Dragon fruit. I love dragon fruit. It's a lot of fun. Kiwi. Kiwi jelly is a thing. That's really strange looking, but it's really delicious if you're interested in that kind of thing. Mangoes. I know, it's so weird. Strawberry, which we don't keep strawberry in our house. We have a strawberry allergy in our home, and EpiPens, so it's fun to draw them once in a while, but no, that's not a thing we have. And cherry. So this was the end of it, and you can see with the curation of the flow, it's like fruit, jam jar, fruit, fruit, jam jar, fruit, fruit, jam jar. You see the pattern? Fruit, fruit, jam jar. And then I alternate with the jam jars of the eyes being in the fruit to being in the jar. I know. To being in the fruit to being in the jar. So there very much is a flow that went to this, even though it's only like 14 pages. This was really quick. It took me like a week to fill this. Less than a week, maybe 5 days. It was really fast, okay? So that was the first one I did. What did I like about this? I liked that I did fruits. I never really do a lot of foods. I did a little bit last October in that I incorporated them into botanicals, but just doing fruit, I never do. And then anthropomorphizing, I never do. And anime elements, I never do. If I were to do this again, I would do hyper realistic eyes just to make it even more uncomfortable. I've never drawn jam jars before. So there was a lot of like newness to this, but because it was only like 5 days to fill this, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It's just weird. It's just a really weird, funky thing I did, and I enjoyed it. I don't know that I leveled up my drawing skill or any of my interest levels, but having sort of play spaces and unique things, even if they're just a tiny quick thing, is really good for sort of a creative refresh to really inspire the motivation and get the inspiration back up again. So this was fun. The second one I bound, and this is also the Canford paper, Canford Imperial, Dollar Rowney. This is the Mocha. This was a single sheet. It was 20 by 30 inch. I'll throw up whatever the metric system equivalent is. Again, I don't know, because you can get a lot of gray paper. Like, not the Cappuccino book, but the Hahnemuhle makes a gray book. Strathmore makes a toned gray. It's pretty easy to get gray paper as far as a colored substrate paper for drawing on in sketchbooks. That's pretty common. The equivalent of would be like a toned tan, the Cappuccino book, or black paper. A black paper sketchbook, and Canson makes one. There's like some stock standard colored paper sketchbooks that are pretty like middle of the road, sort of neutral, that are safe sells that companies feel very comfortable having these. Oh, Stillman Burn, was that Nova is a brown? It's like a light tan. They're just a very neutral sort of safe color that they know they can sell. Like to make a sketchbook with all yellow paper would be so out of the box. It reminds me of Ugly Books. Ugly Books is like a sketchbook company that has really weird colored paper on the inside, but there just isn't any that do dark brown. Now I know Canson, the Mitienes, they have a tobacco paper that's dark brown and really lovely. And maybe at some point I'll buy some sheets and make another sketchbook, because I can't find sketchbooks with dark brown paper. So for this one, a little tiny bit the Rotring Isograph just for labeling. And then it was the Pentel brush pen, but since I've long since ran out of ink, but the tip is still good. The brush is still in really great shape. So I've just been putting my carbon ink by Platinum with a pipette back in here. And then for the gold elements, we have Holbein's gouache. This is their brilliant gold, and I have it in a pan. And the reason I put it in a pan is so it can dry up completely, and then I add water and it thins it out and it creates a faux gold watercolor, because I'm all out of gold watercolor. So I'm using this tube up, and you can see I've been pretty successful in using the bulk of it. And I'm sorry, the sun is so weird outside and I'm only using natural light. It's windy, and so the clouds are just shifting over the sun. Anyway, so this is my faux watercolor, and these are the supplies I used. Everything will be linked in the description box below. And for this one I did portraits, and I used sort of a lighter brown embroidery floss with some brown beads. I really wish for this one that I had copper ink. I think copper ink would have been absolutely beautiful. I have a little tiny bit of gold left. You want to see how much gold I have? This is how much gold I have left from the pens I bought in June. I bought, I don't know, 4 or 6 pens. I don't have much left. So this wouldn't have worked for this sketchbook. I would have ran out completely. And then for the bronze ink I have left, I only have this much left from thumb to thumb. So that wouldn't have worked for this sketchbook either. I don't have a lot of warm metallics left, just a lot of silver. So that's why I did black ink, and then I threw gold, thinned gold gouache as a splatter on top. And these are just ink portraits because I just really, really love portraits. Also, I have to note my whole, like, I know the sun's so weird. I apologize. My whole conversation about having dark brown paper to draw on is because I love dark brown so much. I think it is so gorgeous, so rich, so opulent and beautiful, and I think everything looks good on dark brown. Pastels, metallics, neons, jewel tones. I think just shades and tints. Everything looks amazing on dark brown. So I really wish I could find a dark brown sketchbook. And I don't even know if you can see the gold splatter on some of these. It looks really cool in person. And I hate saying that because I can't hand this to you to show you. They're just ink portraits. I did anywhere from 3 to 4 a day. Some days I did 2. It took me about 30 minutes a portrait maybe. A lot of hair dryer. So I wasn't sure if the watercolor element would buckle the page and make it warp and get really wonky. I wasn't sure how this paper handled wet media. So I just really did a light dusting of gold, like sprinkled on top, and just dried it as fast as I could. So it handled it just fine. There's no bleeding, there's no ghosting, there's no warping, there's no buckling. I don't even know if you can see the gold. It's so much lighter on my camera than it is in person. And some cameras just do that. They brighten up when they record, which is kind of a bummer. But you can see all the portraits I did of all these lovely ladies. And I got reference photos from Pinterest. So I pulled model photos because I feel, and you can see the saddle stitch, again, a Sea Lemon tutorial. I feel confident that models are comfortable with people illustrating them because they've taken photos and people look at the photos of them. I don't know, it's sort of a consent, non-consent thing. Like, how do I get consent to illustrate someone without talking to them when their images are public? They're public images, public consumption. They work in a field that is very much look at me. Like, that's the whole point of their thing, their job, their career. So, in case you're wondering where I got the model shots from. And some of this paper is super beat up. Again, it was rolled up for like 5 years. So there's like stains on the page, there's rips, there's bends, there's tears. And it's just a really beat up sheet of paper that I turned into a sketchbook. You can see like there's kind of a grease stain. I don't know what that's even from. But for 5 years sitting there rolled up, and I just clutter blindness, didn't even see it anymore. Till I finally got them out and cut them up and stitched them up. And this was my first time doing saddle stitches. So they're a little wonky, but but they're mine. So these were a ton of fun to do. They were both really weird, really different. This one more so. This one, I just love portraits. I won't ever get past it, move on from it. It'll always be something that I go back to in every single year if I can get away with it, because it's such a comfortable subject matter. And everybody has like that one thing. If you're just starting out, you may not have that one thing that you know that you love. And it could just be like doodles and swirls, like a morning drawing exercise. It could be just whatever you doodle on your pages. It could be like little hearts going off your page, or sometimes for me it's leaves. I really feel comfortable like doing leaf background things because that's like my favorite doodle shape. When I'm on the phone and I'm not paying attention and like idle hands, I just doodle leaf shapes. So between the two of these are like my sweet spot for having things that I really enjoy creating and doing. And I love this dark brown paper. I love it so much. If Ugly Books would make a dark brown page sketchbook, I'd be all over that. But they're custom orders. You have to order like a huge quantity for something custom because it's like for team building and different things like that. Oh, you can kind of see the gold there now, can't you? You can see the gold more when it's in shadow. It's like there's stars on them, their face. We're made of stars. Okay, yeah, brown paper. I love it. I love it so much. It's so weird and wonderful. And so I just leaned into the dark with black ink. I think it looks good. I just think it's one of those things that like, it's really hard to show up in photographs. It's hard to show up on film. Like, I want to like hand these to you and go, here, just look at it on your own time in your own light, and then you can like figure out what I did and didn't do correct. But yeah, this took me the last 10 days of September to fill these two. So I hope you enjoyed this sketchbook tour. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you later. Bye.